Hi there, my name is Luisa, and I'm here to present ex-post impact assessment to follow up post-disaster mitigation strategies representing Renova Foundation. On November of 2015, it happened, the collapse of the Fundão Dam of Samarco Company in Brazil. The reservoir had around 56 million cubic meters of tailings, and around 40 million went out of the mining area. Those tailings ran through three rivers through the states of Minas Gerais and Espírito Santo, in an area of 670 kilometers of rivers until the Doce River mouth, where it reaches the ocean. Shortly after that, on March 2016, a conduct adjustment term was signed by Samarco and its shareholders, Vale and BHP, and environmental and mining agencies of the states and of Brazil, with the objective to determine programs for reparation and compensations of the dam rupture. The agreement also established a creation of a foundation to carry out all those actions. That's when, on August 2016, Renova Foundation was created. Also, on 2018, adjustment was made by tech governance that made improvements on the governance of Renova Foundation. Here we can see the map of operation of Renova. We can see that it's carried out through many municipalities, and it goes through the beginning of the dam rupture in Mariana, all the way through Linhares on Doce River mouth. This is an image that expresses the goals of Renova. So what drives us? First of all, the moment. We need to understand that the people and the environment, they need fast response and actions after the rupture. Also, the future, because we also need to understand that Renova Foundation will exist to carry out those actions through a time frame. And the actions that we carried out today, they need to be sustainable for the future. Also, together, because it is very important for us to develop all those actions and objectives with the people, with the community, with the agencies of Brazil. Here, I'd like to show you a few of the programs that Renova carried out, so we can see a wide look very quickly. So the first thematic axis is people and communities. So we have engagement and dialogue, economic activity, education and culture, identification and indemnity, health and social protection program, and traditional and indigenous community program. Here an example of one of programs through the axis of people and community is an integrated agenda that has the objective of more than 800 million reais of investments in education, infrastructure, and health in the region impacted by the Fundão Dam collapse. In the land and water axis, we have tailings management program, biodiversity program, water management program, and sustainable land use. Here we can see a few pictures of the progress over time of a stretch of Galacho do Norte River in Mariana. In the first picture, in December 2015, we can see how the tailings really devastated all that was around the river. On July 2017, we can already see the progress of the revegetation actions that went through there. And in December 2019, we can see even more progress on the revegetation and the biodiversity in the local. Also here we have through time an image of the Doce River mouth. So the first image we can see in 2015 November, right when the tailings arrived that area. on April 2017. We can see still a little color coming out of the river, but also remembering that it's normal for rivers to have different colors when it comes into the ocean, especially the Dose River that has a lot of sediments in it, but we can still see a change color in the picture on 2017. And here on September 2020, we can see a more regular color of the water. On the last axis, reconstructions and infrastructure, we have the resettlement program, the infrastructure and access program, the water safety program, sanitation, and tailings containment. Here we can have a view of the Bento Rodrigues resettlement construction site. Bento Rodrigues was the first community after the dam that was devastated by the tailings. And there is a program where it was developed with the people of the village and the community, the decision-making process of the new location of the community, and it's also being developed the construction of each site and each house with them. This is the picture of the beginning of 2021, where we can see the project very advanced. Here I would like to talk to you about more specific about impact assessment and management. So when today we look back, we can see the first response actions that were very focused on diagnosis studies very quickly, different kind of reports and assessment made by different players, help and assist the population and the animals, that was very important at first, and containment and stabilization of tailing leakage. So today, when we look back, what we see that we lacked of. So standardized methodology for impact assessment, and also causality definition, standard, and methodology. Why that happened? We have social and societal pressure for action, very large because of the size and the impact of the rupture. So with a urgency for a strong response, and also a need for a formal contract for the repairing plan with the companies and the government. What is the consequences of that? So we have a repair agreement without a strong, very deeply strong understanding of impact assessment and the impact themselves and the effects of the dam failure. We have a challenge to establish causality, as we could see. The area where the tailings went through is a very large area, and in many of them we don't have qualified data before the tailings went through. So those are areas that have other industries, they have other impact activities. So it's very hard when we go through the studies and we characterize the environment and we find changes in the environment to identify sometimes if they are responsible for the tailings, or if there was something there already before that was not being studied and was not being monitored, and we found out just now. And also that brings up conflicts about the scope of the repairing actions and plans through the stakeholders of the whole reparation process. So 4 or 5 years after the disaster, we started missing a management system that would look with an integrated view for impact assessment and repair monitoring, mainly because the TTAC defines many programs. There are 42 programs throughout Renova, and the need to have an integrated view of that. So we developed a solution that is to create an impact management system for impact assessment and repair monitoring inside Renova. And how are we going to do that? We're going to process a number of studies that were already held by the programs to extract impact information with a methodology to analyze and with evidence-based results, and a deep understanding about the environment of the failure, the institutional networks, social structures, and economic ranges. The inputs that we need is to analyze and process those informations through those studies, and the outcome that we are looking for is to develop a tool for impact assessment and repair monitoring to provide base for the decision making and for monitoring with an integrated view of the process of reparation under the T-type guidance. Also, to establish an integrated understanding about the impact and its reparation, and with that, we believe we can also enhance the communication process through plain language. So the project has 4 phases. So first of them, we were mapping and understanding the studies inside and conducted by Renova and by other partners, and organizing that. Second, the system components. So we were understanding what steps we would have to go through with methodology to reach where we want to get. So cause and effect diagram, social ecological system diagram, institutional network diagram, and environment impact matrix. We also have 2 phases of the project. We are now on the phase 1.0. So it's the impact assessment of all territories recorded in time and space. This is very important because we have a very large territory and the impact happens very different throughout the places. And also it has been 5 years or more already. So the impact also changes over time. And also to have an integrated impact assessment of the fundamental failure. And the next phase that we are still not there yet, but we planned already, is phase 2.0, where we look to have a software development and to organize through IT and software development repair actions evaluated according to the impacts identified, so we can monitor this over time. The next step, so we already hands-on on pilot tests to create this file process. We already processing a number of studies selected by this first test. With knowledge management process, we have mobilized Brazilian specialists on impact assessment, and we are developing a model through collective construction internally, so we can try to have an integrated view of so many different areas and specializations. So integration of concepts of causality, of impact and damage between all stakeholders is also very important. And IT development, so IT solutions being evaluated under the premises of connecting both IT, impact assessments, repair monitoring, and georeferential inputs. And the major outcome for the IT tool is to be helpful on the monitoring and the decision making. So thank you so much for watching us, and let's continue the conversation.